Hey guys, MonstersReview here. I've been requested by quite a few people to do a review on the several eras of Cartoon Network, so I'm gonna do it. Basically, an era, in terms of Cartoon Network, is a time in which the bumpers, promos, website, etc. are styled similarly with the same look and theme. The first era to ever hit Cartoon Network was the checkerboard look. This aired from Cartoon Network's debut in 1992 until July 1997. It's really nostalgic looking back at these bumpers because they really have that 90s feel. I personally don't remember seeing these firsthand on TV due to the fact that I was practically a baby while these were airing. Overall, they looked really nice, but it wasn't my favorite era. Next is the Powerhouse Era. This era ran from July 1997 until June 2004, and it's referred to as the Powerhouse Era because the music that played most of the bumpers was a song called Powerhouse by Raymond Scott. Many of these bumpers include the Cartoon Network logo moving and bending, and they were all really cartoony. And due to the fact that Cartoon Network was primarily airing newer shows and original programming now, many of the bumpers featured the characters. Also, during the later half of this era, Cartoon Fridays ran, and that's known as one of the best blocks to ever exist on the network. It included characters from cartoons hosting each night, and they would also interact with each other. No night was ever the same. Cartoon Fridays and the Powerhouse bumpers were made by Primal Screen. The bumpers for Cartoon Network's 20th anniversary were also made by Primal Screen, and the bumpers were similar to the Powerhouse bumpers. They were really cool and I really liked them. The Powerhouse Era was a cool look and a great era for Cartoon Network. In June of 2004, Cartoon Network debuted the City Era, which is definitely my favorite, and favorite to many of the Cartoon Network viewers on YouTube. The bumpers took place in this big CGI city featuring places from various cartoons, like Malph's from Powerpuff Girls and the Treehouse from Codename Kids Next Door. At this point, Cartoon Network probably had its most amount of shows, and many of the characters were interacting in this big city. The music was also great. Cartoon Network also introduced the Now Then bumpers, and those were also really cool. During this time, Cartoon Network introduced Magoozy and Cartoon Network Fridays, both really good blocks. There were also new bumpers for Cartoon Network Theater, and those were amazing. At this time, Cartoon Network had good shows and the perfect non-repetitive schedule that could make everyone happy. In terms of programming, there was a perfect blend of anime, original comedy cartoons, action cartoons, acquired shows, older shows, and younger kid programming. I miss this time dearly, and it should really come back. It's debated as to when the era ended, but it officially ended in June of 2007. Running alongside City Bumpers, there was Yes Bumpers, featuring many characters including Cheese and Fred Burger in 2006. Overall, it was a great time, and I wish I didn't take it as much for granted. In the next year, Cartoon Network underwent the Summer 2007 rebrand, which had a tropical-esque branding, but shortly after in the fall, they introduced the Fall Era. I absolutely despised the Fall Era when it aired, and the "Father is just something that grown-ups invented" song just aired repeatedly show after show, and I just really didn't like this time at all. This era lasted until July of 2008, when it wasn't even fall. The Nudes Era debuted in July 2008 along with Har Har Thursdays and You Are Here. The characters all had the same body concept and didn't talk but made motions and noises. A lot of the bumpers show characters morphing with each other and there's paint flying around. I feel like a lot of people make this era out to be something worse than it actually was. This look ended in May 2010, and one of the only flaws from this era that was quite detrimental was the Cartoon Network Reel programming. Lastly, the Decade Era started in May of 2010, and it's still technically running. The bumpers at first were somewhat reminiscent of the checkerboard era, but now they've progressed to some GIF-type neon animations and the "Are you seeing what we're saying?" stuff. I personally think these have been the most non-interesting and non-appealing bumpers out of them all, and I think a new era should really come through. It's been here for almost 5 years and not very many people like it. Well, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like below and comment with your answers to what was your favorite era, and if Cartoon Network was to debut a new era, what would you have it consist of? Also, I just brought back this live stream that I hadn't done in a while called Cartoon Fridays, and I'll have a link to it in the description, but I recently recorded a live stream of it, and I'll also be doing them every Friday at 7 p.m. You guys can ask me questions, become a part of the discussion, etc., so make sure to check those out. Thanks for watching and have a spectacular day.